Hello, welcome to the Capalaba lanes for the 1988 Goldpin Coca-Cola Classic. I'm Chris Bombolas, your host. Your commentators will be Steve Mackey and Dana Miller from the United States. It's a men's fourth round match between Barry MacFarlane and Rob Zikman.
And Barry MacFarlane starting out in the match, Queenslander. Barry did a bit of amateur boxing in his younger days, and he was the captain of the ACT team in the Interstate Teams Championship for many, many years.
This is out on a spare that time. Had 3 pins, and he managed to bring down 2. His opponent, of course, is Rob Zikman, who's had a couple of great wins in the tournament so far. He's the WA Open champion from 1986, City Masters champion 87 and 88, and FIQ Hong Kong in 1988. 3 wins so far in the tournament, going for his 4th.
I noticed from a former match that Rob had bowled that he switched bowling balls. He's obviously not happy. Even though he's won, he's not happy with his performance, and he's going to try something new here.
I've always been a great believer in bowling and in life in general, I guess, of not fixing something till it's broken, and maybe that will tell on him in 10 frames' time. But he's got the spare, nonetheless, in the first frame.
See Rob going at the spare here. He's a very direct player, meaning that his ball does not break much on the back end. He doesn't throw the big hook. And I think that's good, especially for here on a tough condition. You don't get in as much trouble throwing a down and in shot as you do on other conditions.
Well, he's 3 winning games so far, 169, 189, 177. He'll be looking for an improvement here against Barry MacFarlane, and that's just the way to get an improved score. Get strikes early in the game. A strike for Rob Zikman in the second. 20 plays 9, 11 pins the difference.
He was very happy with that shot. He knew it was a good one from the time it left the hand. Let's see what Barry MacFarlane can do. Well, an equally good result. Not much reaction, though, from the Queenslander.
No, he was not terribly confident with it, but we'll have a look at this good low camera shot there.
And, of course, MacFarlane, he was captain of Australian team in 1978, a member of that team in 1973, represented the ACT from 69 to 79, and Queensland in 82 to 86. Here he goes, and brings down 9.
You know, he's got a very nice rolling ball in that it rolls what we call a semi. It rolls outside the fingers and thumbs. You see it rotating sideways. The ball is just heavy here, and the only problem with that is that sometimes instead of staying behind the ball, keeping your elbow tucked into the side of your body, you flare your elbow. And that's what he did, causing the ball to go left of the head pin.
I think with the colloquial term for that is chicken winging the ball.
Right, chicken winging.
No doubt about that one.
Yes, a good direct shot then for Barry MacFarlane. Rob Zikman on a roll.
You see here on the spare, he followed right up through by the side of his head, which was excellent.
Rob's coming off a strike. And follows it up with another one, so that's a double.
Yes, that was a nose hit.
He's got a nice style. The only time he gets in trouble is when he follows through right instead of being tight. He's got some good breaks here in his matches, and this happens to be one of them in a key time. He's very happy with it.
So after 3 frames, it's Rob Zikman in control over Barry MacFarlane.
This is the 3rd time I've tried out for the Goldpin Coca-Cola Classic. The competition is very stiff once you make the TV final, and my method of handling it is I use visual imagery, and I don't bother to look at the opponent. I visualise what I want to do and just go ahead and do it.
Welcome back to the Goldpin Coca-Cola Classic for 1988. This is a men's fourth-round match between Barry MacFarlane and Rob Zikman. And it's Zikman to bowl.
Taking a bit of time, getting his fingers squared away in the hole.
Watch this on the replay. He's got a really nice game in that he stays very firm with this ball. He sets up, keeping his elbow tucked. Watch this. Right here, he stands straight up, no knee bend, causing the ball to go high. He knows it. He's lucky to get out with 9.
Yes, it was a good result. It gives him a good lead. 20 pins the difference in the second frame.
And a safe spare. So all going well for the moment for Rob Zikman.
Barry MacFarlane, his highest game, 298. He's the older statesman, I think, in the tournament, or certainly one of the older bowlers here, 54 years of age.
You see how his elbow flared? Now watch on his spare. He seems to have the ability to keep it much more in by his side and follow up straight through. Nice cover.
Yes, I had a look at that shot of his from the commentary position. Oh, yes, much straighter. And, of course, the desired result. Well done, Barry MacFarlane.
It's a funny reaction there. He seemed as though he didn't like the ball at all, and we turn around and he gets a strike.
Some of the best carrying shots here seem to be the crossovers. And he's unhappy with it there. Good result.
Yes, it was a Brooklyn shot, Chris, and the bowlers were aiming for the right side of the 1 pin, and he hit the left.
But he'll take it, no doubt.
Try to take it away from him. An ex-boxer. You can do that, not me. Well, that's a strike in reply by Rob Zikman. Still a sizable lead for him. 22 pins the difference.
Yeah, a bit lucky there. I see one of the pins bounced back to take the 2 remaining. Have a look at his reaction here. He's hoping. Sees them go down. And a bit of divine intervention.
That's the reason right there, this washout by Rob Zikman. You see, projects the ball further down the lane and it never makes a move. Consequently, most of the players are trying to play heavy to the head pin. And it makes for a difficult lane condition. Difficult scoring, yes.
Do you go for it here?
Oh, absolutely.
Doesn't get it. Opens up that frame. So Barry MacFarlane, another strike would be nice for him.
Yes, Rob needed to send that 1 pin further across. Oh, just missed probably by a couple of inches.
Yes, and a strike there to Barry MacFarlane. And a nice reply for him. That's a double.
Let's have a look at this one now. Oh, this is a nice low camera angle. Let's have a look at the 4 pin, the last to go. There it goes from the side wall, the two pin kicking it off.
That was an excellent shot by Barry, and that, yes, he made his last lucky break count.
So there's 21 pins in it at the end of the 5th, but MacFarlane on a double. The winner in both the men's and the ladies' competition will be competing in the 1989 High Roller Tournament in Las Vegas. They will be flying to and from the United States in luxury and style with Qantas, the spirit of Australia. Queensland's hopes here in the 1988 Goldpin Coca-Cola Classic, resting with Barry MacFarlane. He's coming off a double, so all important here. Can he make it a triple?
And he looks like he sanded that ball down a little bit, Dana.
Yes, he does. I noticed that. He gave it room. Good shot.
That was a good shot, yes. An excellent ball by Barry MacFarlane, the new leader in the match, and the Queensland crowd brought alive by that strike by MacFarlane.
Good shot here on the replay. You see, he got it further to the right by the second arrow. Gave it room. Perfect. No deflection. 10 pins in the pit.
He liked that one. He lined them up.
Nice follow through.
Doesn't show much reaction normally.
Oh, that ball, a hot potato to Rob Zikman. He couldn't get rid of it quick enough.
Notice a couple of times these players both rushing in. Normally they take their time.
Yes, he really got up there much too fast that time. He's going to have to open his hand on this one and try and have the ball keep right.
Get up.
And again, another open frame. So he's gone from looking good as Rob Zikman to looking a bit shaky at the moment, Steve.
Oh, look at that. We saw the shadow of the ball again on that pin. And Danny, you tried to help it up there. You said get up, but it didn't quite make it for him.
Yeah, it's very tough. On the outer edges of the lane, there's a strip of oil, which is very difficult to see to the average person viewing this. And it causes for a very erratic reaction.
Not much luck that time.
Right here, you see the ball. He made a good adjustment from the last frame in that the ball got to the head pin, but you see it deflect further behind the 10 pin, and we have what's called a flat 10.
No trouble with the spare. He really needed that one because MacFarlane is on a roll.
Yes, he is on a roll. If he gets another, well, if he just gets a spare here, he's 20 pins ahead. If he gets a strike, he's 30 pins ahead, and that would be very difficult for Zikman to catch, and we might have a Queensland winner if this one's a strike. And that was a very unlucky break for Barry then. That corner pin could cause him a few problems here. The 7 pin looked like it was going to go. We'll see it now in replay. This watch the corner pin on the left-hand side of the screen here. It almost went, and then the 2 pins made it stand up again, and it's probably moved just a fraction off spot. This is a tough spare.
Nice cover.
Well appreciated by the crowd here. That was a nice spare.
18 pins the difference now, 144. Virtue of this spare. Let's have a look at that. Oh, that 2 pin slammed into the belly of the 7, but it wasn't a convincing shot by any means.
See that one again.
Barry here's got nice roll on his ball, but there again, he needs to stay very firm. Both players need to stay very firm with their shot, and that they don't have much room either right or left of their target.
And I tell you something, he's moved way, way left here on this 6 pin. Oh, and I was worried about that. That's quite a common tendency to do that, pull it. He may live to rue the day that he did this.
The ball, you see there, the ball hooked in the middle of the lane and just hooked right by it.
Had he stood closer into the middle of the lane, I don't think that would have happened.
Right, further right, maybe catching some of that oil.
There's a strike for Rob Zikman, and a nice way to come up after a spare.
This is an excellent shot by Rob. Straight down the boards, kicks the 4 out.
There's the reaction. He liked it. And at the end of the 8th frame, it's 17 pins the difference between Rob MacFarlane and Barry MacFarlane and Rob Zikman, and the match hanging in the balance. Rob Zikman now coming off a strike.
Needs a strike to take the lead. He's cut that 17 pins down to 6 at least, and will be 4 pins ahead with a double.
Now that's left it wide open now.
He just tried to give it too much then under pressure. Didn't let the ball go sweetly as he would have liked. Dragged it high. Under pressure, the tendency is always to pull the ball left, and that's precisely what Rob did then. By Rob Zikman that time.
Wow.
That's kept his chances alive in the Coca-Cola Classic here at Capalaba. The second time we've seen it spared. We won't see it spared better than this.
And he was happy with that as well. Look at that.
Perfect.
Let's watch his reaction. Looking, waiting, waiting. Pin coming across, drops, and he's a happy man.
Seven count on the bonus ball. That gives him a score of 183. And it's kept Barry MacFarlane honest. He's got to get a spare or a strike to win the match. And after that performance by Rob Zikman, I wouldn't like to be Barry MacFarlane. And Barry MacFarlane hoping for the knockout blow there, the ex-boxer, but not quite finished the job yet. He's got to spare this single pin, and I bet that that pin looks like it's about 3 inches tall and about 20 miles away from him. He was lucky to get 9 as well. Needs the spare.
He's got it.
Well, it's not quite over yet, Chris, because he needs to stay behind the foul line. In 10-pin bowling, if you go over the black line at the end of the approach, your score counts for 0. He's got to stay clean. He has to stay behind the line. Won't want to do anything silly. Just go for the head pin here.
And finishes it off with a nice strike.
Excellent ball here. You see it comes light to the head pin. Perfect. It's got nice roll on it. Exciting match between these two.
So there it is. Rob Zikman, unfortunately, his winning run has come to an end. He bows out. $250 compliments of Coca-Cola. Barry MacFarlane is the winner. He plays Terry Wenban, the 11th seed from New South Wales, in the next edition of the Goldpin Coca-Cola Classic for 1988.